Hey guys. Amy, I have a no. I have 3 of swords. So it's not on purpose. Yeah, Christian, it needs to be a yes/no question. Hi, Nisha. Nisha, I'm leaning towards a yes, but it's still up in the air. I have this 7 of Cups, which is a maybe, or this is possible, but um it's not set in stone. I also have the Empress here, so I do feel like this person views you as his ultimate woman. He probably still holds a candle for you. He probably still fantasizes about being with you again. So I'm leaning towards a yes, but it's not 100% confident. Hi, All About Maine. How are you? I have a yes, Knight of Cups for sure. Anna, I have a yes, 3 of Wands. He might be making preparations as we speak to get this money back to you. Aniket, I have a yes, 10 of Pentacles. Christian, I am getting a yes. It's the 7 of Wands though, so this does talk about this could be a challenge or this relationship would be a lot of work, but I am getting a yes. Daisha, I have a no, 8 of Swords. Hmm. Pragati, I have a yes, 6 of Wands. Kim, I have a no. 3 of Swords. All About Maine. It looks like a yes. The Empress. This is the wife figure. So it looks like a yes. Kiss JG, I have a yes. The Emperor. Simple Day, I have a yes. 9 of Cups. Jade, I have a yes. Knight of Cups. Ray, hello, I have Ace of Pentacles, yes. So Jade and Ray, I have a yes for you. Daisha, I actually don't go off of the YouTube chat. I go off of my StreamYard chat. So even if you delete a message, I still have it on my end. So just make sure that when you ask your question, you like are sure about it before you post it, because that's typically the first question I see is the one I'm gonna do. You're welcome. You're welcome, Jade. Sienna, I have a yes. 3 of Pentacles. All right, guys, the free list is going to close in a minute or two, so make sure you're getting your questions in so we can go ahead and get started on donations. Amy, if you want to get your question prepped, feel free to get started on doing that now. You're welcome, Sienna. Amy, that's what it looks like, yeah. All about Maine, question on, okay, question on Cash App, got it. Yeah, Amy, and you can restructure it too, like if you want to do too many readings in an 8 card or something, you can do that as well. It's whatever you want to do, however you want to restructure that is fine. Amy, that sounds good. All right, guys, free list is closed. Thank you for joining us. We're going to get started on donations. Aisha, post your yes no question right now and I'll answer it. Post it quick. Aisha, if you're asking about the free list, I just closed it, but go ahead and post your question now. If you want or asking if you can donate, yes, you can donate. Donations are open. Aisha, I feel like this person's feelings for you are on a friendship level. Three of Pentacles. So I wouldn't say they're passionate feelings or irresistible feelings. This person's looking at you as a friend or a friend level, something like that. So I'm getting a no for that one. You're welcome. So Amy, so far I'm kind of getting the message that he's just kind of gotten back into like the groove of his day-to-day responsibilities. Um, 10 of Wands kind of talks about like the sacrifices that he's making in his daily life, including like his work or his other like things that people rely on him for, so maybe like chores around the house. um I feel like it's possible right now he's kind of putting his wants and needs and desires on the back burner. Like, so you are considered a desire for him, and he's focusing more on like his responsibilities at this time. So he's trying to have some self-discipline, and not get like caught up into a conversation or into his feelings when he knows he has other things that he needs to do. Potentially he could be feeling tired as well, but I'm not getting that message 100%. I'm getting more like he's trying to control himself and like not. And I don't think it's too, I don't think it's like just with you either. I think it's like if he plays video games normally, he's not doing that as much. If he normally watches TV or scrolls his phone, um, he might be checking notifications here and there, but I feel like he's just having self-discipline because he's just trying to focus on what it is that he needs to be doing at this time. Um, I mean, I'm not getting that message exactly. Because I have the Ace of Cups, Strength, and the Star, and those are good feelings. Those are good thoughts to have. Um, I just feel like when he knows that he needs to be focusing on other things, he needs to be going to bed early, or he needs to be getting a restful sleep, or he knows that he's got to be up early the next day, or like his mom is relying on him for things, or his job is relying on him. Like, I think that he just is trying to stay in like work mode and just be very focused on what it is he needs to do. And I think there is a part of him I will be honest, there is a part of him that thinks to himself that you guys are not in a relationship. So he doesn't necessarily owe you like any kind of responses immediately. And that's not like in a mean way. That's just basically the way that he reasons with himself when he knows that he has other responsibilities. He's thinking to himself, well, I've got to focus on this, and I can't sit here and feel bad for the fact that I'm not communicating with her because we really aren't like together. And that is boyfriend territory, which we're not, I am not that. So I think maybe for him, he's like, I don't want to treat this relationship as something that it's not. We're not at that place right now. And I'm not going to allow myself to sit here and feel guilty about it. So, and I don't think that's like a mean thing to say. I think it's just what it is. Right? And it's like I'm trying to remind myself of that too, which is hard. Yeah. See, this is why it's hard to get involved with people and let your emotions get carried away and give yourself to someone like emotionally, physically, intimately because you're going to have feelings for someone. It's just going to happen. And then you like because you get ahead of yourself, you want that companionship that you feel you're deserved, but in reality, you guys haven't made that commitment to each other. So it's a tough spot to be in. And unfortunately, you're only in it because of the choices that you've made. So the question is, do you regret it? Do you regret what you've done so far with this person? And as long as your answer is no, then I think that it's important to just remember that this is where you are and this is probably how it's going to go. But if you don't like how things are, then I think maybe take a step back from this and not do the things you've been doing together if it's starting to affect you like this. Yeah, exactly. You said you gotta pace yourself. Like, I definitely agree. And it's really easy to get kind of swept up in the moment together because I feel like he feels that way too. That you guys kind of get swept up in the moment and carried away. But for some reason, it's easier for him to compartmentalize that when you guys are not together. It's easier for him to keep that in check, but it could just be because he might not process things emotionally. Yeah, a month and a half. Yeah. So, I mean, the only advice that I can give here, kind of like what I'm seeing, is if you want that type of relationship at this point, then it's something that needs to be communicated. If you feel like it's not something you're ready for, then you can't have those expectations. And if lastly, if you are feeling kind of like you should be owed certain things, even though you guys are not officially together, and you feel like he should be communicating with me because when he's not communicating with me, I get nervous that he's losing interest, then I think at that point you need to kind of, I don't know, not hang out with him as much or not be physical with him, whatever is making you guys feel emotionally connected to each other until you can have that official conversation where you define the relationship. Because you can't really expect him to do boyfriend things if he's not your boyfriend, just as though he can't expect to get girlfriend things from you if you're not his girlfriend. So it's like you kind of have to discern for yourself what is working, what isn't working. Are you okay with continuing on like this, knowing that this is how it's making you feel? Or do you take a step back and say, this has been fun, but I don't think I can keep doing this unless you're my boyfriend, and see what he says? Because then there will be expectations that will be reasonable. Hey, James. James, okay, that sounds good. Thank you. I'll add you to the list here in a second. I feel like neither of us are ready, especially like when you said he's unsure about his future. It's like, but I told you how my heart wants the relationship, my mind knows it's not ready. So, what do you think you should do in this situation? Do you think you should just keep on continuing this like trajectory and just trying to like not concern yourself so much with his responses, or do you think that you should take a step back from this and just say that he needs to kind of hit you up once he figures out what his plans are moving forward? Like, or I don't know, it's kind of hard because it's like, if you don't know what you want either, then how is he supposed to know too, you know? Yeah, but the thing is that if you guys aren't like boyfriend girlfriend, it's unrealistic to have these expectations. If he was, there's also nothing wrong with it either. Like if he was being really responsive and communicative, and if he was acting like a boyfriend even without the title, there's nothing wrong with that. But on the same flip side of that coin, if he's not a boyfriend, you also can't expect him to make you a priority the way that he should if you were in a relationship, because you're not. So that's the hard part. Amy, I think that's a good plan. If that's something that you think you can do and you have the control to do, then I think that's what you should do. Because the last thing I want to see is you getting hurt over someone who you guys weren't even together, you know? That's a tough one, and I've been there, and it's a shitty feeling because then you feel like you have no right to be upset, but you're over here like giving girlfriend benefits without actually being a girlfriend, and so you have expectations that you shouldn't have, and it's a tricky situation. But go ahead and post for your 10 card. Just let me know what your question is. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Your friend gives good advice. All right, Amy, let's see what's going on with the energy here. So, Amy, the one thing that I can say that is good is that you guys seem to be on the same page as far as wanting a relationship at some point. You're saying like how part of you is saying yes, you want to be, then the other part of you knows that it's probably not the right time to make decisions like that. And I do feel like he's in the same place. Two of Pentacles is the card I pull for does he want a relationship with you, and this talks about kind of juggling ideas and thoughts, feeling kind of like flipping a coin, like heads or tails, 50-50. And it feels like he is trying to bring some type of order to these thoughts as far as like what it is he wants with you. He is trying to kind of balance it all out to where it makes sense. But I do feel like this is a simple case of the head wants something, the heart wants something else. Like his head knows it's not necessarily the best choice to try to jump into something with you right now. And his heart is like, but I really like this girl, and I think that his biggest regret would be to start to like stop something with you before it actually ever gets started. And I think that this brings him a lot of emotional turmoil too. Like I feel kind of like sensitive in my eyes right now, and I think this potentially could have like affected him emotionally, that he knows that he can't make a decision to just jump right in right now. And I think this brings him like a lot of inner conflict and struggle to decide whether or not he should pursue you. And so, in a perfect world, I think he does want a relationship with you. um and I think that he really wants to kind of get things in order, um, his personal life and his personal affairs situated and figured out, so that he can officially let you know one way or the other. I think his preference would be that everything stays the same, and then you guys can be together, but he knows that that's not 100% possible. At this time, he doesn't know exactly what is going to happen. And also, I think he's a little bit scared because he's also like dealing with, is he going to have to start a whole new life? And I think that's very scary for him. Um, Thinking about moving, being somewhere new, you know, this place that he's been in for so long that he feels comfortable. And now all of a sudden he's thinking he's going to be somewhere else. And that's hard for him too, because it's scary, and I think it's nerve-wracking. And I think this in between that he is feeling right now, um it's kind of like, what do they call it? Purgatory. Like in the Bible, they talk about purgatory being this in between place before you figure out if you're going to heaven or hell. And that's kind of what he feels like. He does feel like he's in his own personal nightmare right now, because everything is just so up in the air. And I think you bring a lot of happiness to his life, and I think he's really trying to hold on to that. But I think that he's also scared to develop further feelings for you, so he tries to keep his distance at times. Because I think that he knows that if he ends up leaving, this is going to be a lot more difficult if he continues to develop feelings for you. Um, Amy, so I'm picking up that he's thinking all of these ideas. I don't think he wants to move at all. I think he wants to stay. Um, he would rather everything stay the same. Um, I feel like he's kind of fighting. There's like this conflict within because there's so many times where I think he wants to rush to you. Like I think he wants to talk to you and he wants to surprise you, and I think he wants to come over and like say hi, and but he holds back. He tempers himself because I think he doesn't know what the future holds. And kind of tapping into what I had mentioned before is he it's hard enough for him to take risks, period, but knowing that he's potentially setting himself up to fail right off the bat makes this even harder, because it would let it like if he was staying where he's at and he wasn't potentially moving and everything remains the same and he gets into a relationship with you, to him that's risky regardless, because he doesn't know what the outcome is going to be. But then add the layer of getting in a relationship with you or developing feelings for you and potentially moving, like he feels like that's just he's like my shot of this being successful is already minimal, and now we're like adding more complications to the mix. So I think yeah. um yeah, so that would be good, Amy. Pay attention to like when he talks about his house. And also, you might have noticed, like, when he communicated that to you, he probably was like lit up when he said that. You could probably see like a glimmer of hope, like in his eyes or in his face when he said that to you, because this has been weighing on him very heavily. And the idea of being able to stay there, being able to um, remain here is his dream. Like that's what he wants to happen. Yeah. So, um she said thoughts, feelings, intentions. Okay, so the only thing I have left to say as far as intentions with the Four of Cups is that he sees what you're offering him. He knows like what a what a catch you are, and he sees that you're making efforts to further this connection. He is doing his best to have self-control, though. I think that he's trying to, I just keep getting the word compartmentalize. Like he knows what a good girl you are, like what a good catch you are. I feel like his intentions are to continue to keep things going, I guess, at a slower pace. Like I think he's trying not to put too much attention onto the connection. I feel like he's trying to, I don't know, like I do feel part of him wants to maintain contact because in the chance that he does stay, he wants to make sure that you guys can continue your relationship. And I really feel like that's the only reason why he's maintaining a connection with you, is because he knows he's not 100% sure he's leaving. And I think he just doesn't want to miss the opportunity. So I think you can just expect more of the same until he figures out his plans. Then I think that if he stays, then I think that you'll see things evolving pretty quickly. But that's my best guess. That's actually a really good way to word it, Amy. Yeah. Trying to control his heart, like have self-discipline. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think dreams tell a lot. I think that it has to do with like our own subconscious, the things that we experience throughout the day. Like I've found that I've had like conversations about something or someone during the day, and then suddenly that thing appears in my dreams. So I think that a lot of it has to do with like our own subconscious, but I don't think that it stops there. I think that it can mean that someone else is thinking of us, or like we're getting it like information or downloads from somewhere, you know. Hey Sarifa, welcome in. Val, our free list is closed. I'm sorry. You're welcome, Amy. Yeah, Amy, I would say so. Amy, can I put you back in the rotation? All right, go for it. Okay, that sounds good. I'll get back to you. All right, this is for All About Maine. Sarifa, you donated. Okay, hold on. I got it. Oh, it's so funny. I know your donations because you always come through with Venmo. I don't ever give Venmo donations. It's wild. I think you're one of the only people that send through there. I got it. All right, so Sarifa, you will be after. Well, let me update the list really quickly. You're gonna be after Philomena, but Philomena has not checked in yet. So most likely you're gonna be after James, okay? And then I'm gonna go ahead and add Amy on here. Just for the sake of it. Okay. All right. This is for All About Maine. So, All About Maine, you got a couple extra cards that came through. Thanks for checking in. Okay, Sarifa, that sounds great. Oh no, you're good. That's why I have all those mobile payment apps as an option. It's just for some reason I think Venmo was really big in like 2015, 16, whatever. And then I think somehow the other ones kind of became a priority. So I was just acknowledging something I noticed. Okay. All right. You're good. You're good. So okay, the one part I'm called to, so we're going to start with that, is the Two of Cups, the Moon, and the Nine of Wands. The bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Cups. So, the Two of Cups is about partnerships or relationships or even like very close, intimate friendships, but take this however it resonates. But it feels like you have, and I'm talking about like one person in particular, it feels like you've been through a lot with them. There's like a lot of history here, and for some reason these themes are coming through for this week. This could be potentially you are thinking a lot about them this week, thinking back on the times that you've shared, thinking back on the memories that you guys have together. Five of Cups does talk about grief, or loss, or feeling like you lost, someone close to you, or it could feel like there's like this tinge of like sadness or something like that associated with these thoughts. But I feel like this week is pretty heavy on thinking about this person. It feels like this person of the past potentially. Now, if they're currently in your life, if this is resonating for you, but you're like, they're not from my past, they're like someone I'm currently dealing with, it is making me feel like you guys have a lot of history together. But there are some things that need to be talked about, some things that need to come to light. There could be some things that maybe you've kept to yourself or kept it deep down, or you feel like maybe they're not being completely open and upfront with you about. But overall, this feels like between you and one person who you have history with, there's a lot of themes of this coming up. Maybe looking for closure, or maybe even trying to heal yourself as well. Like, especially if this is a person of the past, you may be trying to deal with this, or maybe there was some parts that you weren't ready to confront that now you're ready to confront. Um, but overall, it feels healing. But it does feel like some things, you know how like when people experience trauma and their brain blocks it out and they can go years and years without memory of it or of something specific, and then suddenly something unlocks in their brain and they remember details about stuff that they had no recollection of before because their brain was trying to protect itself, but it's letting them see these things now all of a sudden, almost at random, but it's because you are strong enough to deal with it now. So I feel like that's the message for you here is you're strong enough to deal with it now. You're strong enough to confront it. And like it is okay for you to do that now. um I have the 9 of Swords and the Fool, so this may be something that's been you've been kind of holding on to it, or uh having trouble moving on. There's like some type of anxiety or fear surrounding like release of letting it go. um And I see here this week that while these themes are kind of surrounding you, everything else is kind of taking a pause. You have been feeling that way? I feel like a lot of things, like if you typically are doing things that make you feel inspired, or hobbies, or like working out, or making dinner, or whatever it is that usually makes you feel good. It makes you feel good about yourself, makes you feel inspired, things like that. I feel like that kind of does take a pause. So if you enjoy cooking and that's something you typically do that makes you feel good, you might be ordering out a lot. Okay, you might be taking a break from the gym. You might be not being as social as normal, or your self-care might be on the back burner this week. But that's because you're trying to confront a lot of other things that are taking a front and center moment for you. Leo from my past showed up. He hurt me so bad. Yes, those feelings have resurfaced. Oh. Well, the main message here is that you're strong enough to confront these now, these feelings, to deal with this. The 9 of Wands means that you're right there at the end, okay? You're right there at the end. You're almost at the finish line. Yeah. You're very close to, I guess, getting the clarity that you need here. You're very close to this being something that doesn't affect you anymore. Because I feel like this has had a hold on you for a long time. But the message is that you're resilient and you're strong, and this is pretty soon not going to have a hold on you anymore. Like, you're right there, it's almost over. Yeah. You're welcome. Did he show up recently? He said he showed up. Did he come back into your life recently? That's tough. You'll make it through. I can't wait to the moment where you feel relief from this person and this situation, and you're like feel like you can breathe again and this person doesn't affect you the way that they have. You'll get there. Exactly. Thank you, Maine. I hope you have a good night. All right, let's see. Um, Amy, I do life purpose, and sometimes career readings come through. But I do like a lot of what you're meant to do on this earth, what your purpose is, and a lot of the times that coincides with the career that you choose. And then, of course, you can ask me a career question. Sarifa, are you still in here? So, Sarifa, I have your question. So, you sent 2 messages. So, I have both of those saved. I read through them. It looks like it's just one question out of those 2. Are you still typing for a second question right now? Or is that the only thing you wanted answered? Okay. I have your question saved, so just let me know if there's anything else you need, okay? All right. So we are going to move on to James. James, if you're here, feel free to check in with me. Okay, Sarifa, I got your second question. Hey, Naija. I'm doing a last call right now. We're about to close the list. You're welcome, Sarifa. I'll call on you when it's your turn. And if you're not here, I'll just do your reading. You can come back, okay? Amy. Yes. Amy, I got your 6 and 8. James, if you're here, feel free to check in. We're going to get started on you here in just a minute. Thanks a bunch. I'm just here relaxing with some Epsom salt melt donut. Nice. You know how many people have told me their back is hurting this week? I've lost track of how many people have said their back has been hurting them. And that includes me and my husband. I don't understand what's going on this week, but it's such a weird ailment or symptom that's like collectively we're all experiencing is very weird. You are not the only one. My wrist, my right knee, lower back, and left thumb have been really hurting, and the top of my right foot. I'm like, I guess I'm just chalking it up to getting older, but it's very, very strange. I haven't done anything that would require this to happen. My head is the only thing hovering over this water, and my hands from holding my phone. Here said, here has some more pain. Ugh. Hey Naija, it's going well, and I got it. I added you to the list. You'll be last on my list, girl. It's going well. How are you? You're welcome. Tired of interviewing. I feel you. Interviews are exhausting. I feel like interviews and training for a job are some of the most exhausting days of your life. Because you just have to be so on, you know? You just have to be like completely available to absorb information or provide it. All right, so James, I want to say just prepare for like some changes to come your way with her. The first card we have is death, so that is like what she's giving to the connection is changes, transitions. So potentially this indicates that things are going to be smoother or things are going to be easier. I did still feel a trajectory of hot, not hot and cold, but like on and off. And remember how I said the connection would be progressive linearly, but there would still be moments where things kind of stop for a little while. And I do feel that, but I feel like maybe what I was kind of intuiting previously was a lot of blocks, like very frequently close together, and maybe this indicates that it's lessening, I suppose. Which means it's still going to happen. There still will be like some pauses moving forward, but did you brush your teeth already? Oh, come give me a hug. Hold on, James. Sorry, hold on. you. Sit tight. Welcome. Give you a little kissy kiss.
Okay.
Good night, babe. But I still feel like there's like that progress that's gonna be made linearly moving forward, with those blocks there, but maybe it just won't be as many blocks. And as far as thoughts, we have the King of Wands. So yeah, you guys just got an inside view of our relationship there. I feel like she's looking at you as someone who can maybe give her some type of life that she may have thought that she wouldn't be able to obtain otherwise. I think that she looks at you as someone who really could change things for her for the better. I think that as far as feelings, she's getting clarity on things. Hey James, we're in the middle of your reading. You can scroll back a few minutes, but overall, it's feeling pretty good so far. Baby steps, but I feel like we're making some movement here. Under feelings, I have the Ace of Swords. So I feel like she's maybe feeling more positive. Intentions, we have the Chariot. So this indicates that she is feeling more positive, more devoted or dedicated to your connection. She's feeling more assertive, more direct. So she's probably pulling herself out of the little slump that she was feeling there for a bit. It felt like it was going on for like a couple of weeks. Are there any outside influences or blocks? I'm getting a no. I have the High Priestess and the Wheel of Fortune. So the only influences that are happening here are those that are not supposed to be understood by us. The mysterious, the unknown, God's influence, divine intervention, divine influence, things like that. But as far as like a physical block here in our reality, I'm not picking up any kind of blocks. Overall energy, we have the Three of Cups. So I feel like she's probably here feeling a bit more cheerful, a bit more happy. This definitely feels like a better day for her and a little bit more stable than what we've been sensing these last few readings. All right, let's take a look here. All right, James. So I am getting a no on this connection being romantic. I have the Six of Swords and the Four of Swords. I asked if she has romantic interest in him, and I got the Eight of Swords. So no, no, and no. I feel like she kind of closes herself off to this person in a romantic sense. So I don't think that she's involving herself with him in any like way like that. Now I asked the energies, and I do have the Empress and the Knight of Wands. So I do feel like potentially she might get things from him, or he may flatter her or compliment her, which makes her feel good. But I don't think that she takes it seriously, and I don't think she's interested in him like that. I asked his interest in her, and I have the King of Pentacles. So I feel like if there's any advances that are happening or any movements that are being made, it is more so from his direction. She feels closed off. She feels she's completely blocked herself off from him in that way. Four of Swords is like antisocial, retreated, introverted energy, and Eight of Swords is like with her energy towards him, she's completely like blindfolding herself to that thought, or that like she's completely like not even seeing him like that. Because Eight of Swords is like blindfolded. So I don't think there's anything here you should really worry about, unless Patty's the type of person who allows herself to be pursued like incessantly, and then eventually just breaks down and says, okay, fine. Unless she's that type of person, because like if he can wear her down and she eventually would take interest in him because he's been so persistent, then I think maybe, but I think it's going to take a lot of effort on his part for her to even get to that place, and that's not where she is right now. All right, so James, I know you said you wanted to wait until that reading was done to decide what your second question was going to be, so I am ready now to get that from you. Is Philomena here by chance? If Philomena can check in with me if she's in the room. I'm suddenly like feeling so stuffed up tonight. I don't know what's going on. Sarifa, you're stuffy too. Oh my gosh, it just came out of nowhere. I'm like, what the heck is going on? All right, let's see. Sarifa, maybe next time don't come in here when you're feeling bad. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Keep your sickness to yourself. No, you're good. I probably have a different problem every single day. Like there's something different. I'm like Brendan is like, no, you seriously have something wrong with you every single day. Like, I come to him with the most random shit. I'll be like, you know that like webbing in between you, like your pointer finger and your thumb, like that skin right there, like that hurts right now. Or I'll be like, my fourth toe from the right on the right foot is really bothering me. Or I'll be like, I have this really sharp pain like at the base of my skull. And he's just like, you have the weirdest shit that goes wrong with you, you know? That's just me, though. I feel like if there's not something that's hurting, yeah, it is random. Like earlier today, I had said that it feels like my gum feels swollen on one side of my mouth. Like almost like I ate something hot and I burned it, but I didn't. That didn't happen. But it was like hurting me like it was. All right, should James reach out to her Saturday to see each other? One nostril, my right one. It's so weird. Should he reach out to her Saturday to see each other? Should he reach out to her Saturday to see each other? I think she's very open to hearing from you, James. She's very open to hearing from you on this particular day. 6 of Cups. So she's excited to hear from you. I asked if you should reach out to her Saturday to see each other, and I have a yes. I have the 9 of Pentacles, which means that your hard work, i.e., your patience, is would be paying off on this day. Like you would be rewarded for your patience, and I feel like this is a good day to try to start something up with her. I have like the conflict may be over, or the trouble might be over. We have the 5 of Swords and the Fool. The Fool means that we're moving on, moving forward, joyously, happily, and maybe the feeling of imbalance or the unequal effort here, that's also becoming a thing of the past. 2 of Pentacles here, clarified by the 6 of Swords, indicates easier times ahead. So I feel like that would be good. I feel like I am getting the green light to tell you that she would want to hear from you and that it would be a good idea. I'm here trying to get better before our show Friday. Eddie's like, if you don't get better, maybe you should sell the ticket. I'm like, that's not gonna get any better before the time comes. Yeah, definitely do what you can to get yourself better. That happened to me actually. Last year. So there's a artist that Brennan and I like, we totally vibed on. Like so there's one artist that's in 2 different bands. Brennan likes one of the bands and I like the other, but we both agreed this artist is amazing. And that's something that we like really found like common ground on when we first started dating, because he was like, name some like bands that you like, or name some musicians that you like. And I listed a whole bunch of them, and he was like, wow. He was like, City and Color, like that actually surprises me. I was like, why? He's like, I don't know, because he's like, I'm obsessed with Dallas Green, and he's like, you really impressed me. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't know this was about impressing you, but all right. But he's like, yeah, you really surprised me. He was like, because I guess in his mind, he was thinking I was going to like a lot of top 40 typical stuff, which is like totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's just not my style. And so we've always kind of bonded on that. And as a matter of fact, that's the artist, the musician that we played at our wedding for our first dance, because it was so impactful. And I've been wanting to see this person live for forever. And I had the opportunity last year to see him in the band that Brennan really likes. And Brennan and I both got COVID. Like, he surprised me with tickets, and we got COVID and we couldn't go. And we lost probably $200, or maybe even almost 300. Fortunately, this year, or this past year, for my birthday when I was turning 34, so almost a year ago, I was able to see him again. Brendan bought me tickets again, and this time it was the band that he's in that I liked. And it was beautiful, but I know what it's like to be sick and not be able to see someone play. And I'm sorry if that happens to you. I really hope it doesn't. Yeah, we were able to make up for it later on, but I completely understand, like, wanting to get better before it happens. Do what you can do. Yeah, Amy, we got COVID for the first time years later. Like, that shit pissed me off. I didn't get it while it was a thing. I got it years later. I was like, you have got to be kidding me right now. Who gets COVID in like 2022 or whatever year it was? I've had it twice since then. And it was like 2022 and 2023, I think. Yeah. Get yourself all cured as much as you can. All right, Sarifa, so you said, I just wanted to know how Eddie and I are doing in our relationship, from what he calls it. We're not exclusive, but from what I know, we're only seeing each other and are only intimate with each other. I noticed he's been quiet lately, and I'm just hoping it's just him being super tired from work and just needing alone time. I just don't want to overthink a situation because of past trauma. Thanks to Tim. Okay. A false positive out of state. It was the time of how I got his first white Christmas in so long. Dang, Amy, that sucks. I got it as soon as it came. No signs or symptoms. Sweet. Oh, Niasia, that's crazy. I'm happy for you that you were living alone as well. Got you. Okay, Sarifa, so let's take a look here. So, Sarifa, I feel like he's trying to have your best interest at heart. Um, the first card out is the Tower. So I was like, okay, that's a little concerning. But again, that's the energy of surrounding the relationship right now. And I think I'm hearing panic. I'm hearing panic. I don't think it's disaster or chaos or everything's going to descend into like hell, but I feel like there's a sense of panic that's occurring. That's probably not necessarily needed. So you might be feeling like overly worried or overly concerned, and I do feel like he's trying to have your best interest at heart. He likes your company, he likes spending time with you. He feels like you bring him comfort, you bring him clarity, not confusion. He likes that he feels like he knows you and like you say what you mean and you're very straightforward, and he doesn't have to sit here and wonder what's going on in your head. He feels like you're just very honest with him and very straightforward with him. And I do feel like he's trying to have your best interest at heart. um I feel like he feels like you guys are two peas in a pod. Like you guys work really well together. Um, in a sense, like he feels complete with you. Again, like I don't want us to read too far into that, but he does feel like when he's with you, it just feels right. Like that's what he's saying. Like it just feels right when we're together. I think that he is trying to be careful with your heart. I do feel like he considers you quite a bit. I think that he wonders how much of that should be on him because you guys are not official, but I think that he tries to be careful with your heart. Um, I feel like he is trying to consider you. I think also he's a little bit worried himself about getting hurt. That seems to be a theme that's coming through right now. I see that you're unsure. You want to give it a chance, but you don't know because the Page of Cups is in reverse. So it's like, I want to believe that this is something that could be potentially good, but I'm not really sure if I should or if I can. I see you here as the Two of Pentacles, juggling your thoughts, weighing things back and forth in your mind. But I do see here you feel like you guys get on well. So the advice here is to take a beat, um, and do more observing, because I think you're seeing with actions more of the type of person that he is and the type of person he wants to be to you, but you're having a hard time because probably because you're not in a relationship. I know that you're saying that you're having trouble because of the past, and while I'm sure that's true, I think your main insecurity is the fact that you guys are not in a relationship. I think that if you were in a relationship, you would feel a lot more safe and a lot more secure. And so I think that it's take a second, take a breath, observe his actions, pay attention to what it is he's doing. And then once you feel like you've got it together and you have your composure, it's important to talk about where this relationship is going. Um, I think a conversation is warranted in the near future. I'm not going to say immediately, but I would say in the near future. Your trigger is because you're not in a relationship with this person. We've learned to sit down and talk to each other about how I've been feeling, especially when it comes to times of his lacking communication, and he acknowledges it and says he'll work on it. Good. Or I've learned as it's been hard to do that in the past without being judged. He's had a hard past from what I know. Yeah, because it's hard to shake the past and not question, is this real life? He did say if people were to ask him if he were in a relationship, we are, but he feels like having the boyfriend girlfriend title doesn't seem that important. That makes sense. I get it. I completely understand that. But as someone who is being, what do you call it? Sexually active with someone, it is absolutely your right to find out if he is with anyone else. It's not your right to demand that he not be with anyone else, but it's your right to know. So I think that so long as you guys have that conversation and you're like, you know, if you are with someone else, you need to tell me. And if you like happen to get with someone else, you need to tell me right away. That is within your right to ask that question. But I think, I don't know. I'm just feeling like you feel a lot more stable if you guys were, if he would allow you guys to put that title on it. Yeah. So there's that. Maybe he's just the type of person who just wants to kind of see where it goes. Maybe, I mean, for all we know, his history was he's dated people, and as soon as they got that title, then things went south, and maybe he feels like there's some type of like curse on having a title or a stigma on having a title. Maybe he's worried about what that's going to do to your relationship. So, you know, to each their own. I don't think there's anything wrong with it either way, but I feel like you need to know that you're exclusive. I think you at least need to have that conversation. And if you are, or you already have had that conversation, then I think just watch his actions, because I think that's going to tell you more than you need to know. Okay, well, that's good. Yep, okay, so that's pretty much exactly what I said. Okay. All right, so your second question, you said I wanted to know why Eddie goes out with all. Wait. I want to know why Eddie goes out with his friends. Let's say to bars or to eat, but normally we've stayed in. We've addressed this, which luckily he gave in to going to a show with me on Friday. But it's only because I asked. I was wondering why he won't go out and drink with me, but will his friends. Okay. So Sarifa, they're showing me Ace of Pentacles. Could potentially money be a factor here? Could he try to limit his time out? I mean, would that make sense that he would want to limit his time out as much as possible? So maybe he stays in with you. Because I have the Ace of Pentacles here. Oh, you haven't met his friends? Why won't he let her meet his friends? um so I have the Four of Pentacles, and this talks about being protective of your relationship, like wanting to keep you guys in a little bubble. Maybe he's not wanting to hear the opinions of others, whether they're good or bad. He's trying to keep you to himself for a little while longer. I think, well, I don't know. I think it also depends on how long you guys have been dating, but it's possible too that he just wants to really figure out like what you guys are to each other first before just bringing other people into the equation. I have the Fool here, so he could have an awareness about himself that he's very impressionable. Um, and he doesn't want anyone else to influence his opinion of you, regardless of what it is. He wants to make that decision on his own for himself. Something tells me that even though you've met his roommates, you probably haven't spent that much time with them, is my guess, but tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like he probably goes out with his friends, and maybe makes a fool of himself. Maybe he doesn't like the way that he acts with his friends. Maybe he feels like they don't paint him in the best light, and he doesn't want your impression of him to be ruined either. Maybe he just doesn't want you to see him like that. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, is something here about like worrying about the impression, worrying about the opinion that you'll have of him or that other people will have of you and then tell him about. Um, he probably tries to keep that like separate. And, depending on who these friends are, they might make they might be immature. They might be people that he's just had around for a long time, and maybe he acts like an ass with them, and he worries that like that will make you not like him or make you not want to be with him or something. I think also there's times too where he just likes hanging out with his guy friends. But I think the main thing is that he's trying to avoid allowing them to have any opinions about you. Um, I think he wants to feel very convicted in how he feels before anyone else tries to come around and say otherwise. But that's what I've got. So, and I really thought money had something to do with it because I have Ace of Pentacles and Nine of Cups, but maybe it doesn't. Unless he has a lot of money and he's paying for everyone and he doesn't want you to know that. I don't know. Maybe he's frivolous with his money, and that could be a concern. That might be like a sore topic or a trigger for him. Good. Okay. Well, I'm glad that those dots are connecting for you. I do hope you get feeling better. You're welcome, Sarifa. You've got this. Take a lot of vitamin C, vitamin D. Try to avoid any kind of sugar or alcohol over the next 2 days. That's of utmost importance because sugar can send you over the edge. You could be like borderline sick, and sugar will get you there. And also, alcohol will do the same. Hydrate and try to avoid processed foods. Amy, we're ready for you. Yeah, Sarifa, those are some big things. When I was a consultant with Arbonne, we would talk about health, and it's crazy how much sugar and alcohol will. Because alcohol lowers your immunity, like your natural ability to, um, like keep sickness out of you or away from you. And then sugar, it's just horrible, like how quickly it can make you sick. I remember I was borderline sick at one point, I didn't even realize it. I just knew that I was really tired, I wasn't feeling that good, and it was around Christmas, and I had some Christmas candy, and just like that, like within hours, I was feeling sick. I had like nasty taste in my mouth, my throat was sore, and I was like, okay, clearly this was here, but it wasn't until I had the sugar that it just sent me like right over the edge. And this year we didn't do stockings, we didn't do candy. I've pretty much avoided candy all season. I've avoided as much sugar as possible, and fingers crossed I haven't been sick. And did get I did feel like I was going to get sick, but I hydrated, make sure I was taking my vitamins, avoided sugar, avoided processed foods, avoided alcohol, and I was able to kick whatever this was like within 2 days. And I didn't even really get full out sick. I just was feeling a little bit under the weather. So definitely listen to me on that. Yeah, Amy, I've been trying to avoid that as much as possible. Like if I want something sweet, I'll like I've been getting these fruit strips from Aldi. Can give you like a little sweet tooth, or I'll do like a parfait. I'll do Greek yogurt with some fruit and granola, or I'll cut up an apple or something like that, because it kind of gives you that sweet that you're looking for, but not actually eating candy or dessert. Yeah, try to avoid the airheads, Sarif. I used to love airheads, man. That brought me back. All right. Wonder what did Eli's mom feel and say about her Valentine goodie bag that I made? Cute. Yeah, soups and teas. Just soups and teas. I have this go-to ramen that I make every single time I feel like a little bit under the weather. I'll make ramen. Um, and it's all homemade except for the noodles themselves. I get like plain noodles. It's like prepackaged, and I can't remember what the brand is called. Um, but I'll put like green onion and like load the shit up with garlic and use like a chicken broth. And I can't really think right now, but there's like other stuff I put in there. But I feel like that's penicillin in a bowl. Like it literally will kick anything out. It's crazy. He said Eli. All Eli said to me was his mom liked it. All right. What did she feel and say? Aw, so I have the Ten of Cups. This is like a really pretty card. Look at Ten of Cups, Amy, if you're not familiar with it. But it's like a rainbow of happiness. Um, there's like kids dancing, so I'm kind of like feeling like she might have done like a little shimmy, a little dancey dance when she saw like, ooh, oh my god, you know, like one of those. I'm not saying she's like breaking dance like doing Michael Jackson shit in the kitchen, but I'm just saying like she probably did a little like shoulder dance, you know, like ooh, look at this, you know, that kind of thing. I feel like it was really like made her happy. Like she's just like, oh, this is so cute, oh, this is so sweet. Like I'm just seeing her being like, how thoughtful of her, you know, like did you think that she did this bag herself, like, you know, like asking him questions and he's probably like, I don't know, mom, you know. But I feel like she just was just being really sweet and really cute about it. Let's see. I think this made her feel excited and inspired. So I feel like you know, maybe what it is you got her made her excited to like do something with these items that you got her. So yeah, you said you got her a cute cookie cutter. So like I feel like she's thinking to herself, I want to use them. You know, like I want to like execute them. What is the word I'm trying to say? Put them into use. Like I feel like she's wanting to put them into use. That's what she's thinking. Like, oh my god, I can make da 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 now and whatever. And it's just funny because I'm kind of sensing Eli just like hands in his pockets, kind of like leaning up against the wall, kind of thing. Like enjoying seeing his mom kind of giggle on this little gift, and like I think that it made him happy, but I don't feel like he's showing a lot of emotion throughout this transaction. I think he's just kind of doing like a side smile and just like shaking his head kind of thing, but I think his mom was like really into it. Let's see, anything else? But yeah, she's excited to like put to use the gifts that you got her. She was probably already thinking about what she was gonna do with those things, or where she was gonna put them, or maybe talking out loud about like, oh, this will look really cute at my desk at work, or I don't know, whatever. Again, this is just an example, but just like basically talking out loud about where she's gonna put stuff or where this is gonna go, or like how thoughtful because she knew I like blank and whatever. Um, so yeah, I mean, overall, I think this like just brought her a lot of joy, and she thought it was really sweet. A very boy reaction. Amy, what did you want to do for your 8 card reading? I can literally visualize it. Oh, okay, you're gonna start typing for your 8 card. I'm so glad she liked it that much. Wish I could have seen her live reaction. Yeah. It seems cute, you know, a little dancey dance. I think like it just was kind of unexpected to her too. So I think that it was like extra exciting because she didn't know that that was going to happen. And so now you said Eli is trying to control his heart. So Amy, absolutely, I can pull and just see what comes see what comes through. If you are starting to feel like the messages are repeating themselves, then I'll let you decide if you want to keep asking those questions. But I will see what I can get for you. Nyasia, I have your question. Thank you. All right, girl. So he's kind of putting you in the category of a siren, someone who's very seductive, and you know, you just possess seductive qualities. Like you likely can talk him into anything. Just through like the chemistry that you guys have together, and he feels like you're using your power for like your own. I mean, he likes it, don't get me wrong. He's like, use me, Amy, but I feel like he feels like he uses your powers for evil sometimes to kind of like get what you want, but it's not in a way that he would want anything differently. Like he likes that you tease him, and he likes that you kind of use your wiles on him, if that makes sense. And I think that also he likes that about you, because typically you're such a like serving person, like you're generous and you're thoughtful, and so he likes seeing the side of you where you use your feminine wiles for your own advantage. He likes seeing that just as thoughtful and generous as you are, that you also can do things because you want to do them, or you can make him do things because you want to do them. I think he likes seeing, or he fantasizes about you being like in power. I think at times he likes to be submissive, and he likes the idea of you kind of taking advantage of him. So that could be a fantasy of his. It's true. Let's see. Yeah, I really think he feels like you can get what you want from him if you really put your mind to it. I think you can make him do a lot of things. So he's saying like shapeshifter, so he's saying there that you are a lot of different things for a lot of different people. Um you know, are sweet to his mom, but you're a freak in the sheets to him. You're a great daughter to your parents, but you're also a really hard worker at work. Like, he's thinking whatever it is you're doing, you can kind of mold and be flexible to that specific situation. And then he also likes the you that's also fun and flirty and hangs out with him even when there's no sexual element. He likes the like counsel that you might provide him, and talking to him and things like that. He likes how positive you are, that you have this ability to see beauty in all things, and that you really are a lot more um, optimistic than maybe you realize. To him, you're full of optimism, very bubbly, very happy. I think he thinks to himself that he feels very fulfilled and satisfied by you. I don't think that there's much that he would change in that regard. So when he fantasizes or daydreams about you, um, it's variations of things that you guys have already done. I don't think that he feels like you guys are desiring anything or needing, or like there's nothing missing. I'll just put it that way. Like, he doesn't feel like there's anything missing with your connection. Um so when he's daydreaming or fantasizing about you, whether it's just thinking about the interactions you guys have already had, or he's fantasizing like a sexual fantasy, it's not anything that's so far-fetched that like it's not possible to happen in real life. I think he likes very realistic fantasies. He likes the idea of it just being the two of you. Like, I'm not getting anything crazy, like any wild kinks or anything like that. Yeah, I'm sure. That's kind of where I was going with that, is he's kind of replayed your your interactions before. I think that he likes the idea of you guys going back and forth too, even just for, let's just talk about a sexual fantasy. I think he likes the idea that sometimes he's dominant, sometimes you are, sometimes he's sub, sometimes you are. I think he likes the mix. I don't think that he feels like anything is missing in your connection. And I think that he enjoys just thinking about you. I just feel like every time he thinks about you, you always have a smile on your face, or you're laughing, or you're joking around. And so what that tells me is that when he thinks of you, it's very positive. Yeah. Amy, as far as oils go, I don't know if this is specifically for hair, as in like depending on what you're wanting your hair to do, but I have been using rosehip seed oil for the past few months and I love it. Um, it's great for face and skin, and I actually use it. I like whatever excess I have on my hands, I'll like put it through my hair. Um, it's a really great oil for gua sha, but it's good for so much, and it's so moisturizing and so healing. And I find that when I use it, I do. But I have like super dry skin, so maybe that's why I like it so much. Um, but rosehip to me is great. And it's actually pretty affordable too, and it lasts a little while. I would say I use it every day, and I would say it lasts the like little amount that I got. I think it's like is it like a 4 ounce? What is it? Um, it's a small container of it, but it lasts me like 2 to 3 months, and it's like $10. But I get the organic. I always get organic oils no matter what I'm getting, whether it's like canola oil or this or coconut or whatever. I always make sure it's organic. Oh, this is only a 1 ounce bottle, but it lasts me at least 2 months. Yeah. All right, Amy, have a good night. Thank you. Naija, if you're here, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle for you now. Yeah, the oil I would say is on the thinner side. It's more like a sheen. So yeah, I don't know what kind of consistency you're looking for, but it's on the thinner side. And the smell of it is different. It's definitely not something I don't think I've smelled before, but it's not unpleasant at all. Nighty night. Yay, Naija's here. All right, how did the interview go with Nina? Oh, also, Amy, I'm taking tomorrow off, okay? So you won't see me. I know you asked me if I'm going to be on, but Brennan and I are taking the day off together. I was thinking about a moderator you had in early days. Cannot think of her name. I think she had a child and lived down south. So I'm trying to think. Wow, I'm blanking on moderators. I haven't had moderators in so long. Angela was one of them. She had Luna Moon, if you're familiar with Luna Moon. I thought she lived out of the country though, but she did have a kid. She comes in every once in a while, but it's very rare. I haven't seen her in a while. Georgia Peach, she became Queen of Swords. And she moderates on other channels. Still, I think. My gosh, I had quite a bit back in the day. I just went back to like just normal, basically no moderators. I made Amy a moderator recently, but that's because she's always in here. And sometimes I can't answer questions, and she usually will answer them for me. So I was like, I'll just make you a moderator. That way, when you say something, people take you seriously. Because she was already answering questions, even though she wasn't a mod. So I was like, at least if she has the little wrench next to her name, people will take her seriously. But yeah, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, it was Georgia Peach. Yeah, she became Queen of Swords, and I've seen her. I don't know how recently. It might have been like a couple months ago, but I saw her on Happily Ever After's channel. Yeah, I'm excited. This is the first day off that we're taking. Like, okay, I take it back. We have taken days off since then, but this is the first intentional day off we've taken. So a lot of times we'll get up, we'll get moving for the day, we'll realize that like work is slow, and then he'll just be like, well, I'm just going to take the day off. So essentially he felt like he was on call all day. Or like I'll be like, I'm going to stream tonight, and then like I'm cleaning the house, getting things ready, getting dinner going, and then 7 or 8 o'clock rolls around. I'm like, I'm just too tired. I don't feel like streaming tonight. So it's like it's never a planned day off. Like we do take days off, but it's always like mentally we're just on all the time. We're on call. We're like prepared to work. And today is the first day. Tonight we get to go to bed and know we're not working tomorrow and not feel guilty about it, and that is really nice. And of course I'm going to feel guilty about it regardless, but I'm just excited to know we can just turn our brains off for a day and plan for the fact this is the first time in weeks that we're actually going to have a day off, and it feels like a day off, you know? I posted a picture of Eddie on my story about the back of him with my hand in his hands and asked if it was okay with me posting a pic, and he said he didn't realize I did. And he doesn't care what I post. Aw, see? That's cute. That's cute. Thanks, Naija. We're excited about it. The things we get excited about as an adult is so lame. But I'm like, yes, a day off that we prepared for. Like, God, being an adult is ridiculous. How did my interview go with Nina? I know. How did the interview go with Nina? So, Naija, I'm trying to look at all the cards really quickly. I want to make sure I'm not missing something before I say. But it looks like you guys hit it off. I'm tired with you, girl. I'm turning on the rain and closing my eyes when we're done. Take your time. Oh, I know. I'm so tired myself too. I feel like you guys hit it off, or like there was some type of vibe happening here with this person. She's showing that okay, so I feel like she's the type of interviewer who likes to hold back, who likes to not show her cards. But I think with you, she was having a hard time because it just felt like authentic. Like she felt like she could kind of say things or laugh or maybe get a little bit more personal than she typically would during an interview. Because I see here with the temperance and that she really likes I think I'm covering up the speakers. She really likes to be like super professional and like give off a certain energy during the readings. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Stiff and softened. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Like fabric softener, girl. She just felt like you guys were kind of like jiving. I see here Page of Wands and King of Wands. And so I feel like you guys just kind of felt like, you made her feel like she was cut from the same cloth as you. Like you were able to kind of liven up and warm up the interview, which she really, really liked. I have the Ten of Cups here. So I feel like this went swimmingly. I feel like you make a really good impression everywhere you go, Naija. And this is just her saying that you know, gave off like a really good impression today. Ten of Cups also like indicates that we're really happy that we had this interview with you. We really enjoyed talking with you. Like it was a pleasure communicating with you today. And I also see her as the Queen of Swords. Is that's the persona she tries to give off, and then you were able to kind of like break the ice and get to her King of Wands core, if that makes sense. Yeah, of course. I feel like she feels like you would get on well with other people, especially because of the impression that you made on her during the interview when she normally acts a certain way. In these interviews, and then the way you kind of like warmed up the interview. I'm so sorry. My words are getting all mixed up. So the last two cards here are Ace of Swords and Seven of Cups. And I feel like she's saying out of all the options, you are the victor. Out of everyone she's interviewing, you have the top of the list. The Ace of Swords indicates championship, victory, like you have won. So Seven of Cups talks about all the options that she has, or all of the prospects that she has. And you're here like taking the lead. So that's good. And at the bottom of the deck, I have the Ace of Pentacles, which is making a financial offer or making an offer in career. So we shall see. Good fit for a little bit. I like it. Like the theme of that reading was Naija plays well with others. Like you get on well with other people and you would be a good asset. You're welcome. Alright, what does Spirit want Naisha to know about her relationship? Okay, so I have the Devil here, and I asked to clarify, and I got Temperance. So temptation is clarified by Temperance. That doesn't make sense to me. But then I asked to clarify further, and then I got the Two of Swords. So basically, the Devil and Temperance are opposites, and then I have the Two of Swords, which talks about a stalemate or a like a fork in the road kind of thing. You're not sure which way to go. You said yes, I'm definitely easy to get along with, but also no nonsense. You won't get any gossip from me. I won't. Yeah, same. So what I'm kind of picking up from this is maybe you said spot on. Give me some direction here, girl, because I'm so confused. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm not trying to be like laughing, but I'm like, please, I need to understand what this means. Because I'm just so confused because I'm like, someone wants it, but also is trying to have self-control. Okay, he's scared to have sex because he doesn't want a baby, but won't go to the doctor to get fixed or use contraception. I'm sexual. We go back and forth all the time. I think it's deeper than that. Condoms work. He's bullshit. Oh my god. Makes me wonder if something deep happened to him. Okay, so because like I was feeling here that someone wants to have a sexual connection, and someone here is like tempering it, like stopping it from happening, and this is leading you guys to like be at a stalemate or kind of like a fork in the road. Interesting. Okay, let me see. So for you, if I'm understanding correctly, is it's like you're wanting to go there and he is like, I guess, struggling with it. Yeah, Naisha, I got you. What do you want her to know? What do you want her to know? Yeah, you're needing release. I definitely see that here with the Eight of Swords. You're needing release. Like, you're needing physical release, but you're also needing release from this situation. Not to say that you're going to like up and walk away per se, but something's got to give, right? Something's got to change here. Um they are showing therapy. Um Now, this doesn't have to be like couples therapy, it can be like individual for him, to kind of talk things through, because your intuition is telling you something might have happened that he hasn't had the chance to work through. And I think you're right, because I have the Hermit and the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is indicating that in order to look deeper at this situation, in order to get more insight, we're needing to bring in a third party. I don't know if that's something that he would be open to or not. But that's kind of like the advice here. Let's see. So something that you need to know about the relationship is that until we're able to confront this will continue to be in a reoccurring theme in your relationship, a reoccurring hardship or struggle. There is the opportunity for you guys to get through this and for things to get better, but it is going to take some work. We can't keep avoiding it. It's something that has to be confronted, because again, you can't be suppressed, but you also don't want him to be like in this weird place of being uncomfortable. So it's going to require, and it almost seems like both of you are fighting like for the upper hand, like you're wanting. And the other thing is too, is I'm sure it's hard mentally for you as well to be in a relationship with someone where they're saying one thing but they're doing something different, and you're wondering at some point, what is this? Is this something about you? Is this something about me? Because my intuition's telling me that it's not what you're saying that it is. It is. It is going to be a reoccurring theme here until you guys are able to tackle it in a big way. And I think, Naisha, it's also important that you feel desired, in your relationship. It's much more than just the release. It's about you feeling compatible with someone in that way, and you feeling desired by that person in that way. That's a huge part of relationship. Otherwise, you just have a roommate. He says he wants it, but never makes the move to do anything about it. Yeah. So, Naija, not to get too in your business, but if you initiate it does it go somewhere, or does you guys have a problem there too? Yeah, so Nine of Wands is here talking about an ongoing battle. Um, there's history here, and this is history that's been ongoing even before you guys met. Nine of Wands talks about like Yeah, honestly, it might have been trauma, Naija, because Nine of Wands talks about like being battle scarred and wounded and bruised. And this could be a physical thing, but it can also be a mental or emotional thing. And it's saying that something that's really taken the toll over time. And now, again, this could be talking about your relationship. This is something that could have taken a toll. Like, this is something that you guys have been dealing with, and it's been like this ongoing thing between you guys, and it's really taken its toll on the relationship. But this could also be talking about specifically like what is going on with him individually, something that's been going on over a long period of time that he hasn't faced. But sorry, that he hasn't faced, but the Nine of Wands does indicate that we're coming to an end here, that he is getting to a point where he is going to have to tackle this. Like, he is going to have to deal with this head on. Like, you guys are coming to this climactic point where we can't, for lack of better words, we can't continue to do this. Like, something is gotta give. Nope, he'll stop it and do something else. Oh gosh. The combos we have. I mean, this is what I'm here for, you know? But the advice, the main thing I'm getting is that you are gonna have to get like help outside of this. This isn't something that you guys, this is bigger than the two of you can handle individually. And that if we don't go to another source to dig deep on what's actually going on here, um, we will not be able to manage this moving forward. Can you not hear me anymore? Oh, shoot. That's so weird. I wasn't on mute or anything. Let me see. Yeah, I was saying my voice kind of messed up a little bit. I was saying that the main advice that I'm getting is that in order for you guys to be able to get through this, you will have to bring in like another person into this to help dig down deep and figure out what's going on here, because this is not something that you'll be able to manage on your own. Yeah, that makes sense. And I'm not saying that it isn't there because, like, I'm sure you guys do other stuff, right? I mean, I assume so. But that's such like a big part of a relationship. So it's tough. It's tough. Oh wow, that's so crazy. Honestly, Naija, I hope you didn't take offense to me laughing earlier because like I know this is a serious issue for you. I was more so laughing at the fact that I was really confused as to why I was getting these cards and getting this message. Um, but I'm actually just like so beyond like confirmed in reading tarot right now because while I didn't understand, you did. And to me, that tells me everything I need to know about tarot. That it's not that I don't believe in what I do, but like it's moments like this that happen and I'm like, "Oh yeah, no for sure. Like this is it." Like what are the odds that I would get temptation clarified by temperance, clarified by two of swords. Like that is your exact situation. And while I may not understand it, you did. And to me, that blows my mind. Good. Okay. I'm glad you didn't take offense to it because I was just like, what is this? Um, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I feel like okay, so if roles were reversed and it was you, I would recommend getting a sex therapist like someone who can kind of work you through specifically what's going on when it comes to sex. I know there's a lot of women out there, like female sex therapists. I don't know about men, but maybe he would feel comfortable talking to another man. Maybe that specializes in intimacy, possibly. Um, but I definitely think, I mean, just coming from experience, again, I'm not a professional, but from what it sounds like is that doesn't sound like normal behavior. That doesn't sound like something someone typically would do. So to me, it feels like, and I don't think it's you at all, but I think something is going on with him and he is just not able to confront it with you. I definitely think, yeah, if you want to do a couples therapy, that's exactly the advice. Something that, whether it's couples therapy or individual or whatever, I feel like something needs to happen where you're bringing in a third party, i.e., Three of Pentacles, in to look deeper into the situation and get some enlightenment, because Three of Pentacles was clarifying the Hermit card. And I feel like with the Seven of Wands and Five of Swords is indicating that this will continue to go on until you guys are able to do that, until you guys are able to find a way through this. And I feel like it's going to require professional help. Yeah. I mean, I think, Naija, what you could do is you could say, like, your needs are not being met and that you're here for him and you're willing to give it your all. But that would require going to couples therapy where we can really get to the bottom of this. And if that's not something that he is wanting to do or able to do, that's fine. But that would make you have to consider whether or not you're going to stay in this relationship. Like, you're not going to force him into couples therapy, but by saying no to it, he's ultimately making the decision that you guys potentially won't continue, Yeah, exactly. Well, feel free to use that verbiage if you want when you talk to him. But that's tough. And but the thing is you can't, no, you can't. It's such a big part of a relationship. I don't care if you're a 5 times a week, 5 times a day, or a once a month kind of couple. It still needs to happen, and it still needs to be there, and it still needs to be mutually desired, and it still needs to be compatible. And I just don't know how you can go all this time without feeling desired in that way and feeling that kind of connection. You are just friends at that point. Yeah. For sure. Keep me posted, and then if not, also, you don't have to if you don't want to. This is obviously deeply private and personal to you, so. But I hope that he agrees, and I hope that you guys are able to work through this, because you've been so patient with him for so long, and in order for him to have happiness, like, he could have that with you. So I hope it all works out. But Naija, thank you for stopping by. Good, I'm glad it resonates. Too patient. I hope you have a good evening. I'm gonna go ahead and take a shower and get to bed. I don't want to sleep my whole day off tomorrow away. So I'm gonna go ahead and get myself ready for bed. Yeah, you don't want to get to that point of resentment. Yeah. Okay, have a good night. Bye.